Hello everyone, Russell Wright from networkempire.com. Everybody's talking about the real-time web from an abstract perspective, but I'm going to show you what it means in real time. I'm trying to keep this video under 10 minutes. I'm going to show you how I generate traffic with authentic subject matter expert content by turning it into micro content and doing a process that we call at Network Empire story flipping to curate and repurpose and syndicate while I'm still acknowledging the sources to my own golden frames, that is my own personal content network, at the speed of thought, without ever slowing down. That's what the real-time web is. It's curating, syndicating, repurposing, and acknowledging at the speed of thought while you pull people into your own call to actions instead of other people's call to actions within your own golden frame. The golden frame is this stuff over here. These are the monetized ads that Wright Web, which is a massively trafficked site, is using to pay for their server costs as well as probably their writers. There's a really great article by Marshall Kirkpatrick on Introduction to the Real-Time Web. Google declared real-time search to be one of the biggest unsolved problems it faces. This is a great article. This is the topic that we're talking about because the real-time traffic flowing right underneath your feet, right underneath the static search engines, is what most people, especially internet marketers, really don't have access to yet, because they separate social media from search engine results. And they think that Google Plus is dying. The fact is that Google Plus is the operating system. It's not a platform. It's not a launch. It's not separate. It's part of the whole Google operating system tied to your profile. We connect all of these in Curation Profits course. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. Here's the topic, Introduction to Real-Time Web. Now what I need to do, I've acknowledged Marshall Kirkpatrick's story, which is part of good curation and good subject matter expertise and good journalism. I'm going to flip this story, and the way that we do articles is a little bit different than journalists were taught with the upside down pyramid in the past. You can see more videos and graphs on how I teach about that new kind of content from other videos inside the members area. Okay, let's go ahead and take this topic of real-time web, and we're going to flip the story. The first thing that you want to do is go to storify.com. This is extremely powerful application, guys. Okay, I'm going to log right in using my Twitter account. Okay, and it's completely safe to do that. Some people don't like to use the Twitter login, but I don't mind. Okay, and I'll go ahead. I'm already in here. It's a story I published yesterday about a free Google Plus maker. I've already got 108 views in less than, it's 2 days. Okay, that story's kind of old. But I've got direct traffic off of this. People liked the story. I got feedback, and I got some follows, and I made one sale to my course. And one of the things that I want to point out that I'm doing here is you got to remember, and I talk a lot about this in the course, what is your golden frame? In other words, this idea that you're a purist and you don't have an agenda to sell online is kind of a myth. And I'm not saying internet marketers don't have that attitude, but the web is changing to a different kind of cultivation area where you don't want to sell directly, but you do want to keep in mind what your end goal or your bullseye actually is. Okay, where are you going with the golden frame? Where are you actually targeting your traffic? Okay, I'm actually working on this product on micro content curation and syndication, and this is going through a lot of different revisions. So you just keep that in the back of your mind that that's really what you're selling. But at the same time, you want to create a story, and this story needs to be relevant and not selling anything. And I had this idea this morning about the real-time web, so I'm going to generate a story about the real-time web versus the old web or something like that. So I'm going to pause now and do that story, and I'll time it for you so you can see how long it takes. Now, this is where the art of storytelling comes in handy, and if you're not able to do this kind of stuff, then you need to find somebody who does. I'm not that great at it, and I still pull in traffic, even on a bad day. So the way I'm going to position the story is real-time web traffic to replace traditional search engine results, or to replace traditional search engine traffic. I didn't want to go that far out on the limb, so I might change this as I go, as the mood moves me. But the way that I'm going to position this as an expert is this is an old article. You can see it's 2009. So I'm going to refer to it as where are we now? That's like how have we come and where are things with this? I'm going to give Marshall Kirkpatrick all the credit for this original article. It's old repurposed content, and that's the journalist approach. Remember, journalists engage in something called the echo effect. The echo effect is if they can't find a story, they'll go and find something and pick it back up again. In the older journalistic era, it was up to 2 weeks to a year that you could go back and do what's called the echo effect. If you've ever studied PR online, it's widely known that a story will go out, it'll die out, the half-life of the links will die, and then one journalist will pick it up. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And Yeah, let's go ahead and just look at this here. So the art is all in the story, and Storify has made it really, really cool. Okay, so now I do have to spend just a moment to get my concept going. Now, here's an interesting thing. I want you to think outside the box. I hate to use that term, but there's more than one way to skin this cat. Okay, I can use all kinds of tools at my disposal, including Cinch FM. I could do an audio if I don't have time to do a video. And people do listen to those audios. They prefer videos. But this is a free service, cinch.fm. You could use it and just use the link in Cinch FM to put it right inside your Storify story and give a nice discussion about how this article was old, but you're a subject matter expert, and let's revisit it. And here's what I know. Really powerful stuff, guys, and it literally only takes less than 20 minutes to do this when I'm not trying to document it. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll finish up the story. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to be creating a video on this story. All right, but for now, I'm going to pause. I'm going to do a Cinchcast and insert it right into the story so that when we do press publish, which is going to go out to my network and my large amount of social media syndications, then I'll have something in there that's at least dynamic. Okay, so I'm going to pause, create a Cinchcast. The Cinchcast helps me get my story together in my own mind and helps me be an expert. And once I do the audio, I'm the kind of person that needs to talk about something or do a video on it and then write it all out. And then I'll show you what I do next. Okay, guys, and so what I've done, and gals, I've created a micro audio. Cinch.fm is a great system to use for that. And notice every micro chunk and every micro blog out there has the ability to syndicate in a variety of different ways. And this is what confuses people the most. We teach you how to properly, effectively use this within your own golden frame. And what's really cool is I'll just go ahead and I'm just going to take the link because remember what we're doing right now, the link's up here. Now I've got a nice story tied to it, and I can tweet this out while I'm here. It's fine, it's not going to hurt anything. Oops, that was already tweeted automatically for me. Okay, I normally don't have automatic settings, but you also have a feed here. So we'll show you how to use that all if you are into using Cinch. But main thing is you go back over to the real-time web, and you're going to go up to this on Storify. And one of the things that I don't like is Robert Scobelizer always shows up in Cinch FM because I think he's part producer of that site. But it's got my headline, which is fine. All right, so I'll leave that there for now. I would really like to fix this challenge of being able to put my image here instead of Robert's, but we'll just bypass that for a second. Okay, so now what I've done is I'm doing a little bit of a press release, micro press release style. What that means is that I'm acting as if I'm not writing this. Russell Wright of Network Empire announced today that Google Plus One is the first indicator of the real-time web hitting the Google search engine results page, as predicted by Marshall Kirkpatrick in 2009. Now, I'm going to save this. Now, what you want to do is I have found some pretty cool things by indicating other authors and using, this is called story flipping. You can always quote your sources, and you can always create a futurist prediction as a subject matter expert rather than just a mere journalist, because I am a subject matter expert on this topic. So go ahead and take the actual article. Okay, it's a PHP article, and you're going to want to just grab this link, and it makes it really easy to just put this in here and click search on storify.com, which you need to have an account set up. Okay, introduction to the real-time web, and there you have it. And what you could even type in is the original article. I'll go ahead and write that. The original article on the real-time web written by Marshall Kirkpatrick, 2009. And then I'm actually going to put a little bit in here, something about the audio. And the following audio, Russell Wright, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and so what is done is, in the following short podcast, search engine software developer Russell Wright explains how Google Plus One is a social operating system, not a social platform, and how that changes everything on the search engines. Just click save. Okay, now the good thing about Storify that I'd like you to consider is that I can come back at any time, and when this is done, I might even go back. I'm passionate enough about the story to go and even do a video and show some people some things. But for now, go ahead and give yourself a call to action. And this is where people using Storify actually kind of drop it. There's nothing wrong with giving yourself a call to action. Okay. So I've got things set up so that I give myself a call to action in a kind of unique way. Okay, one of the things that I do is I'll put my phone number at the bottom. Now, I've actually saved on a notepad my call to action for Storify because it's such an important platform for me and has converted so many leads so well. Okay, so just go to Notepad and we go into Storify, and here's my little call to action that I've got. And I can actually say, we are experts on this topic. Let's and I will put in a, this is an interesting thing that I've never seen anybody do. It's actually an Aweber newsletter. Okay, they have to click through to it. Please join our newsletter on this topic. And when you make your newsletter form, just make sure that you think about where it's going to go in the microblogs when you do that. And then I will actually put the actual course. And I do make conversions as long as the topic and the story is congruent with what I'm talking about, and I don't make any hard pitches. I don't. I try not to. Okay, save now, publish. Okay, I'm going to show you the power of this thing. Okay, that took me literally, I've only been recording for 11 minutes, and I walked away for 3 minutes to make the audio. The audio is good, and some of my decent speaking. And there you go. And make sure you don't do any typos. I'm known for doing typos on my micro content. So now you have to understand how these things connect, guys. And this is where you need to take my course if you have time. I've left it at an affordable range because untangling the web is of connections. Like, you got to understand the difference between shallow plus and deep plus and how to effectively use this and where it's going to go. And everything's connected in a real tangled rat's nest right now. And most people's kind of social network and rat's nest is tangled wrong. And that's one of the things in the curationprofits.com course. I try to help you untangle some of these things. And again, it's ongoing. And I have to do another course because I actually create more connections for people when they take the course. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and tweet this out to my primary Twitter account. It's completely fine. Close that. And I don't like this on my fan page unless it's totally congruent with my friends and family. Okay, so sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, if it's really universal to everybody. This really isn't. But then I also will cover it as a deep plus. Deep plus is something I explain in my course, and I'm just going to stop right there with it and not going to get too much into what it is that I do until a little bit later. But this is what I wanted to show you in this video, is that you are now published, and you're going to watch these total views start to go up depending upon how large your Twitter following is. The next step is to make sure that you immediately go place this story in your own blog. There's two ways to do that. You can embed that, header, sharing, border, template. You can change however you want. You can even do a slideshow, which I haven't used yet. But here's the Storify slideshow. Or what you can do when you go over to your own blog is you can just remix this story. These little widgets that Storify uses to get these little chunks, where you call micro content. This is what I call micro content. And they use a service called Embedly. And you can post Bedly in your own blog as a plugin and generally do the same thing. But you want to use the reach that Storify has. Okay, and this is key. Just keep putting the stories out in micro chunks. And you can take some of these micro chunk stories and put them in your own blog, which would be my next step. Since this video is on my general search engine YouTube account, that's all that I'm going to talk about for now, because I could be here with 3 or 4 more videos showing you the step. I reveal how to do this mostly in the course. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact the YouTube. I do try to help people in the public. So this is only one of several steps. The next step is to use this and some of my other systems. Like, for example, I do use bookmarklets sometimes on the fly, but I also need to be careful for my Facebook fan pages, because my Facebook fan pages that are tied to the subject matter, they're all placed on feeds. So they're already going to get this story. But again, in the social media stream, it's okay to enter a story more than once. Because remember, it's all timing. It's a moving target. The new micro-content real-time web is a series of micro-content chunks being randomly distributed or systematically distributed on timelines that are perceived as random for your environment. Okay, so this is what you want to do. Here's on the fly. I'll just say, on the new real-time web that Google Plus has finalized. Okay, that's pretty good. Just click, I'll leave that post here. One thing I would like to note is that if you don't use any images on your, okay, oops. If you use any images, I double whammied that one. So I've got to go over and fix it. Use Facebook as fan page. Go to, I like to automate stuff, and normally I don't even bother with this because of that exact reason. One little mistake and you deleted the post. There you go. That's finished. There it is on my fan page. I just used a quick bookmarklet, but I'm also automated through feeds, which I also teach folks as well. So we'll get out of there. And one thing I just wanted to point out is that before you go putting this on your own blog, make sure that you add a picture or an image right here. Otherwise, when it appears on your own blog, or more importantly, when it goes through your network, it's going to appear without a story. You want it to actually have an image. So you need to add an image in the top marker. So like, for example, here's one where I do have an image on this story. Make sure on Storify now with our new changes that you have an image at the top, and put videos and stuff below it. That way your thumbnail will have a image tied to it. Okay. I look forward to seeing you guys. I hope you do sign up for the course, curationprofits.com. And there's so much that I have to show you on the one feed to rule them all, and untangle the web so that you integrate social media, RSS, content curation, and SEO in one fell swoop using the old principles of website silo architecture that we've been teaching for the last 5 years. Russell Wright from networkempire.com signing off.